Well, hey! Hello, man babies! Oh, sorry, as I always say, that's somebody else's greeting. Hello, everybody. Today is Friday, the 15th of October, and yesterday, guess what? It was my fucking birthday. So many happy returns to me. 47, apparently. I'm Mr. Brown, and we are back on the channel celebrating Star Wars. Is that still going? We are celebrating Star Wars, and big event tonight, boys and girls. We are revealing the first 8 contenders for Shill Wars 2021. We will be joined by the usual motley crew of rebel scum, including the bad credits. I'll start again. Including the bad credits of Star Wars. Yes, you've guessed it. Ruin. Double trilogy of appearances. Johnson. I hope you are all very well today. Let's waste no more time and let's get the guests out. So here we go. First off, one of the very best Star Wars shills in the business, all the way from Las Vegas. We have the backbone of this channel. It's the wonderful, not Brian Young.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. How are you?
Hey up. You all right?
I'm very well. May I wish you a very happy 60th birthday to you. You don't look a day over 55.
Fucking hell, feel 60. What are you on about? Are you well?
Mate. I'm not too bad, mate.
Mate.
Matey. Not too bad at all, matey. Not too bad at all. I hope you had a good birthday yesterday.
Yeah, not bad. Just slaving away, music producing. Not working at the moment, not earning, but I'm trying to do stuff that I've always wanted to do and just basically working my bollocks off doing that, because you got to work hard to get somewhere. Unfortunately, it's not paying, but there you go. So you good? Yes,
I'm good. Excellent. Hope you're doing very well. Shall we get the next guest on?
Oh, Brian, you're a true professional, my friend. Okay, let's get the next guest out. Next up, he's the jester from the Leicester, massive Star Wars fan, novelist. A novelist who's trying to give War and Peace a run for its money. It is the great Matthew himself, the Swappers.
Mr. Brown, it's your birthday, I'm told. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my God. Yes, you are really old.
Very old.
Hello, everybody. Hello. And hello.
Hello, sir.
How are you? You joined me midway through a bit of writing, but I thought I'd stick that to the side and come and chat with you, lovely chap.
Have you not finished that book off yet?
No, I haven't. It's taking bloody ages, but you know, I'm getting there. I'm chipping away, mate. I'm chipping away.
Mate.
Yeah. I'm very excited about tonight, though. This is going to be...
Yeah, I know. Just, boys and girls, this was a totally last minute kind of decided to have a cock about this afternoon type show. So totally the last minute. Yes, Matthew?
Yeah. It's Shill Wars. What else can I say?
Oh, Shill Wars. Can you believe it?
Funnest things that anyone in the fandom can ever observe or get involved with. So I'm rubbing my hands with glee at this new installment.
Incredibly funny, although I will say, hot off the press, myself and the man baby himself will be doing a live stream in the very, very future, very, very near future, doing men's cosmetic products for the more discerning gentlemen. So watch out for that one. So are you well, Matthew?
About as well as I can be this evening, yes. I've been for a hard run and legs are killing me, but I'm sat down.
Good lad.
Got a cup of tea. You know, it can't be, can't complain, mate. Go on, go for it. Bring them out.
Okay, so here he is. Taking time off from his own ramblings, it's the Captain 006.9 Captain Blockney Spock Timeline Blade Runner do. Hello, mate.
I will come to your restaurant every day for breakfast, lunch, and hello, good evening, and bollocks. I'm so happy.
You well, bollock chops.
I'm so happy birthday, happy
Cheers, mate.
21st birthday yet again.
Again.
Brilliant. Everyone's
Are you,
favourite older brother.
Yeah, are you ready for this?
I'm pumped. I'm ready. I'm very happy
on.
that you're broadcasting. You've saved me having to go for 9 hours, so I cut it off after
Ooh,
my
9
ideal
hours.
foreplay.
Fucking hell, Jesus.
And thank you. I'm gonna say I've got it out of my system, but thank you, Kathleen Kennedy. Not only time travel, but time travel where they're erasing raiders. You can't do that. We proved it right on this channel.
As bad as that.
By deconstructing Back to the Future.
Yeah.
They can't do it. You can't erase
First
it.
Bond,
It
now what you call it. So yeah, it's bad. We're not as grown men, we're not allowed. I'll start again. As a white male privileged person of a more older age, we are not allowed to have anything that might be classed as fun, heroes, or things we enjoy. So fuck us lot. So yeah, should we get the next guest out?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. And last, but by no means least, a double trilogy of appearances on this channel, which is 5 more times than he's wrote a Star Wars film. My mouth is very dry. The Hollywood.
That's what she said.
Yes, the Hollywood legend in his own mind, live from Kathy's Knocking Shop somewhere in Hollywood. The man Babby himself, Ruin Double Trilogy King, Johnson.
Hello, man babies, coming in hot like a non-consensual kiss from Rose Tico. How are we all doing? I'm so excited.
All the better for you being here. Are you well?
I'm very well. I'm moisturized. I'm ready for a fantastic night talking Shills and Ghostbusters and Christ knows what else. But yes, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm pumped.
Oh, come on. You're pumped. Before we get going, if I may, there you go, boys and girls.
Today's stream sponsored by Nivea.
Yeah. Nivea cream for men.
Travel size. Take it with you anywhere.
So there you go. If I could give anybody advice from an old fucker like me, moisturize. Okay, so are we ready then, boys and girls?
All right.
I thought, or should I'll say, I was told we will be starting off with some news which is hot off the critics' press
God, what
this week, as it were. So if I've got my captions correct, which I did spend a few hours before, this show isn't thrown together, believe it or not. If I press the correct button... Oh, Ghostbusters. So, Ghostbusters. We have news of Ghostbusters this week then. So, I think we should start off with the person who told me that we were doing Ghostbusters. So, Ruin, do you want to go?
Well, yes, the reason I want to talk about this is obviously the movie's not out yet, but it's being kind of universally panned by all the Shill critics. Now, this is rather interesting because the same critics seem to absolutely love the 2016 Ghostbusters, which was the all-female affair, and they absolutely got behind it and told us how wonderful it is, and then it came out and it was god-awful. Nobody watched it. Everyone hated it. It was just an absolute virtue signaling nonsense. So
easy for you to say.
Well, there we go. I'm 3 rum and cokes in, so give me a break. But what's interesting is the fact these critics are now panning this movie before it's even launched is kind of giving me cause to think: could this actually be rather decent for some reason? So I'm interested. There's certainly some critics I'd like to call out. I mean, The Guardian, I know we're going to discuss in a moment. Give it a rather scathing 1-star review. But yes, I've got a feeling this could actually be a half decent movie, because basically we've got this bizarre situation where if the critics hate it, then you can almost be sure the audience is going to love it, and vice versa.
Didn't the Black Eyed Peas have a feeling?
That's not in my area of expertise. I stick to movies, and that's about it.
I do know the Critical Drinker waded in with a tweet on this, saying all the signs are that he's kind of starting to love what this film potentially may be about.
Critical Drinker, has he figured out how stories work yet?
I will say Critical Drinker.
Always good. I'm the Critical Drinker. I know everything.
Critical Drinker. I did say. I will say again. We really do require your services for the end of the month, please.
He's an up and coming channel. A young
yes, the up and coming channel, the Critical Drinker. We do require. We will do anything to make your channel bigger, and I think a collaboration would help your channel immensely. So
Brown wants to make you grow.
Yeah. Brian, are you looking forward to Ghostbusters?
Not particularly, although I was a big fan back in the day. I was a fan of the cartoons back in the day. I'm not particularly interested in this one, but it has been hilarious watching the fallout from the critics already.
Shall we?
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Shall we just put the picture up straight away and just get it over with?
Do it. That's palpable.
Brie Larson's toes.
Do it.
No, I haven't got those, mate. Sorry. I've not seen the 2016 version. Have I done well?
Yes, very.
Yes.
Moving on. Is it really that bad? I have been tempted out of a morbid curiosity to kind of punish myself watching it.
You would be punishing yourself. Yeah.
Dare I, Matthew? Dare I?
Oh, I tell you what, I watched that film back in the end of 2016 on legal download. I don't mind saying, and I thought it was going to be kind of just mediocre. I'd heard reviews on both sides saying, it was good and bad. And I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. I like some of the girls on the cast from other stuff they've done. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and give it a watch. So I did. And I didn't, for the first viewing, I didn't think it was abominably terrible. But then after thinking about it for longer than 5 minutes, I suddenly realized how fucking dreadful the thing was. And after hearing other people's, hearing out a few other reviews that were against it, I just ended up nodding an awful lot. They'd picked out a lot of stuff in it that I'd missed because I was kind of chatting to my friend on the sofa and, not necessarily paying particular attention because it was like almost on the cusp of the wokeness that was happening in entertainment. So
it was starting, wasn't it?
Yeah, our guard was down. We weren't really noticing this stuff at the time. But in hindsight, my God, there's no way I could sit through this film twice. No way. The worst part of it was the dancing sequence with what's his face who played Thor on the top of a building with
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievably bad. That bit was just, you could rip apart every single scene throughout the film, but that one was especially bad.
Yeah. Do you think Chris Hemsworth did the film because he was building a new wing to his mansion?
I think he was at that stage when he just said, I'll say yes to anything. It's Ghostbusters. Everyone knows Ghostbusters. It's like people that say yes to Star Wars, isn't it? Everyone knows Star Wars. Yeah, they don't care about how shit it's inevitably going to be because Kathleen Kennedy is poking it around. But It's
not
I reckon
anymore.
he just said yes, thinking it'd be another feather in his cap, but it ended up being another dog shite on his pants, I think.
Ooh. So, recommend watching it then?
Absolutely, yeah. Just get a few beers in, you'll be fine, mate. Yeah.
Captain, have you seen it?
Have I? Fuck.
I think we're the lucky ones then, aren't we? So, yeah.
I broke Black Phillip's law. I didn't see it because it was shite. How do I know it was shite? I didn't see it. The logic is infallible.
Ruin, I'm assuming it's one of your favourite films.
Well, you bunch of man babies, how can you not get behind an all-female cast rewriting the original, and the only male in it is some bitch wearing glasses and made into a side fucking piece. It's I can't believe you didn't get behind it all, but in all seriousness, I think I watched about 10 minutes and then I switched over to some boring arse documentary on BBC Two.
Weapons of Mass Destruction.
Yes, but no, I look. I think Afterlife. Apparently, again, only select critics have seen it, but apparently it's
The Guardian.
It's heavy on the fan service, and that's what some of these
dare they
bastards have a problem with. Yeah, so basically, if you like the originals and you like some references back to the originals while introducing a new set of young characters, then it's not for you. Unless it's all female, and yes, it's the Guardian are not going to get behind it. So there we go.
I shall just quickly read the paragraph on screen from the Guardian, the lefty, lovey, woke brigade magazine, paper, propaganda pamphlet, whatever you want to call it.
Soy drinking.
Favourite of the BBC in the UK. Okay, so Ghostbusters Afterlife review, a slimy, stinking corpse of a sequel.
Jesus.
I don't think he was in it, was he? Jesus. Considering the casual cowardice of a script that uses its own mythology to subtly erase 2016's All Gals reboot from the canon, giving the rage-choked trolls, that'll be us, and the people in the chat.
Hello there.
Hail rage-choked trolls. Carpet-bombing internet movie database with 0 ratings. The vindication they've always craved.
That's objective journalism, isn't it? Rage, choke, trolls. All I did was give it 1 star because I didn't find it funny. No, I appear to be choking on my own fucking anger.
I suspect he may have written that before he even saw the film, to be quite honest.
Possibly. I'm sure that the BBC will be quoting that verbatim when it's apt. But I think that just illustrates what is wrong with nobody's allowed to have an opinion, and if your opinion doesn't agree with ours, we will strike thee down. Moving on.
I agree.
This is written by a gentleman by the name of Charles Bramesco. He's the author of that, and he seems to be quite the fan of the 2016 version.
It's not one of Paul Feig's mates, is it?
What an absolute cretin of a man.
Yes,
totally dishonest
John.
It seemed to annoy quite a few people here and there, so it did its job. So, anyway.
Will you guys be going to see it?
I might now. Wasn't particularly interested before, but seeing as it's riling up all these shill critics, I think I'll buy 10 tickets and lie across an entire row just to piss them off.
Drinking rum and coke on 20 minutes. Swappers, will you begin to see it?
Oh no, I've got a mate who keeps messaging me images and snippets and bits from the press that are praising this film, and photos of the cast and all this sort of stuff. He's getting really excited about it because he's a huge lover of the original movie.
Yeah.
And despised what they did in 2016, and he's really excited for this because it's, it undoes 2016 and it's got the original cast in it. They're probably only going to be in it for like a couple of minutes, let's face it.
Yeah.
But he's just like his nostalgia, the fire underneath him that he's lit for passion for this film is just unquenchable, and he wants to go and see it in the cinema, and he will not shut up about getting me to go with him. And
perhaps you should.
I'm just like, oh God, I don't know. I mean, right from when the first trailer was announced for the teaser came out like 2 years ago, whenever it was, and they announced it was going to be all like kids, I just thought, man, this is Stranger Things all over again. I don't want to see a film full of kids. I just want to see some adult Ghostbusters running around, swearing, smoking, and shooting ghosts, and and having
shagging Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, shagging Sigourney Weaver. Get that in there if you can. Although she might be a bit beyond the age where that's kind of viable now.
A lot of Nivea cream required, possibly.
Yes.
Oh no.
I'm not for the face either.
Bathtub of
no.
But that's all I wanted to see was that kind of that great formula that the original had. But by replacing the original cast or people of their age by a bunch of kids, and just I can't get behind it, I'm afraid. I mean, it's possible I may end up going to see it at the last minute, but I'm not excited in the slightest about it. I'll probably
I suppose kids are better than blue-haired people, I suppose.
Yeah, better than feminists, yeah. And as far as I understand so far, that is not a part of it. So at least it's got that going for it.
Cockney, I'm assuming you're not going to see it.
You are correct in that assumption. I can't anyway.
That was a wild guess, by the way.
I'd probably rather see Durr.
Monday, yes.
But well, there you go. You see, but Blu-ray maybe might be good. It's all right, like the original Yada. But
I wasn't really. Ghostbusters, the original, was okay, but I wasn't massively into it like everybody else. Brian, will you begin to see it?
I'm slightly more tempted to go and see it now than I was before I saw Norbert in the Guardian review, but I don't think I'll go and see it. I'm not that interested. I hope it's good for anyone that does go and see it, and I hope it's especially good for kids in a younger generation.
If it's decent entertainment, I think it might do well purely because it's decent entertainment. Ruin, you'll be going to see it, obviously, because you'll be having the 2 rows to yourself. So.
Yes, I'll book out half the movie. In fact, I'll book out the whole goddamn theatre. I'll go naked. It'll be fantastic. Just me, a box of popcorn with a hole in the bottom, and some Nivea
jar
cream.
Of Nivea.
A jar of Nivea, and show me that movie featuring lots of kids, disturbingly. So maybe we move on from this topic. I don't know. It's gone down a strange path.
Welcome to Comedy Cul-de-sacs. Moving out now.
Okay, before we move on then, shall we just say hello to a few peeps? Okay, so there's Mr. Brown Alliance, Nala Doch, Ruin the Man Baby, Peacat, Sherry, Sklavko, not Brian Young, Canadian Spider-Man. Who else is here?
Take your time.
I am, mate. Cam. That's all we need, isn't it? There's enough here for a party.
Don't let any more in. We're full.
There was a question from PCAT. Where is it? Specifically for Ruin, because I know PCAT is a massive
birthday-related question.
Yeah. Ruin, how would you write the first act of a Mr. Brown on his birthday?
Well, I answered this actually in the chat, but I'll happily regale you all with my take on your birthday, Brownie. So obviously it's your birthday. You want to do something exciting. So I'm thinking we'll take you to an island. We'll drop you off all alone. And obviously nothing to eat, nothing to drink. So you're going to have to find your own form of sustenance. And we all know where we're going. You may find yourself suckling the tit of a space cow with the milk dribbling down your salt and pepper beard. Yes, it'll be the best birthday you've ever had. So there we go.
will I be allowed to take a jar of Nivea, or will I have to use the milk as moisturizer?
Feel free to take some Nivea. That Space Cow had a good
Okay.
seeing to from Mark Hamill. So
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it's
Oh.
very.
I will say,
very
if anybody from
well said.
Nivea is watching, Ruin and myself would not say no to some freebies. That's Nivea. So, shall we? Shall we move on then, boys and girls?
Now let's
Yes.
spend another minute thinking about Daisy Ridley's face as she looks at Mark Hamill's face as she realizes what's going on, and those ain't titties and that ain't milk.
Okay then.
Oh,
Star Wars Shill Wars 2021. Let me just look at my notes, and then okay. So it says my notes are. What is Shill Wars? Please explain. I think that's you, Ruin.
Oh, well, it's the whole reason for my existence, and actually the reason I'm in touch with a lot of the people here and on Twitter. So, okay, let me take you back, if you can go that far back to 2018, early 2018.
Ooh.
So The Last Jedi's been out. The Star Wars fandom's been fractured. Some people seem to love The Last Jedi. Some people seem to hate it. Divided the fan base. But what we had, as we've just been discussing with Ghostbusters, is we seem to have a lot of sort of critics, or people who like to think they're movie critics or influencers, really supporting The Last Jedi, whereas a lot of the real hardcore true fans were not very happy with it. So it became very obvious to me that a lot of these people just seem to be praising Rian Johnson and his abomination, just to get the Disney press passes and the access to Star Wars Celebration and so on. So I thought, what can we do to expose these rather scumbag shills?
Is that what? Okay. I was going to say, is that what Shill is? A sucker upper.
It's exactly that, Mr. Brown. Someone who sucks up to the mouse just to get access to be on the Star Wars YouTube show and so on. So basically, I came up with this idea. Shill Wars, very simple pun, but it's a bracket tournament of the worst shills within the fandom.
What tournament?
Well, as the Americans call it, a bracket tournament, which is basically a series of head-to-head matches. Quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, and from there we crown the greatest shill in the Star Wars fandom. And you'll all be rather pleased to know our friend Brian Young was the inaugural Shill Wars champion.
What year was that again? 2018.
Just the 1 year? Don't think so.
No. Oh no, he didn't. He wasn't finished there. So he actually followed that up in 2019 by winning the goddamn thing again. So he was the 2-time Shill Wars champion, but he was finally toppled in 2020 by Alex Damon of Star Wars Explained. He had a particularly strong year. That was the year he basically managed to block half of his own audience on Twitter.
I was going to say, what is there a set of criteria to become, one of these shills, to be able to enter? Is there certain criteria that they need to meet?
The only criteria is to spout the most ridiculous bullshit on a regular basis. That will usually get you in the running. So as we're about to see, we've got some of the biggest characters who've really talk new levels of shit when it comes to Star Wars and Disney. But yeah, it's an interesting time, and this year I've got to say, we've got the strongest lineup we've ever had. We're going to have 16 of the absolute worst within the fandom, and I think we could have a brand new champion this year. So, but we'll see.
On 30 minutes, shall we? 4 of them have already been. I know, mate. 4 of them have all been revealed. So we'll get on with the first one then.
On 30 minutes.
On 30 minutes.
Hang on time.
Who is this then, Ruin?
Okay, here we go.
Is Pappy going to be in there?
Well, avert your eyes, man, babies, and yes, there we go. So it's the reigning champion, Alex Demon, or some of you might know him as Star Wars Explained. This is in his casual weekend attire. But yes,
welcome to Challenging Wank 101.
Oh God!
I've had a few of those in my time.
He toppled Brian Young for the to take it in the final last year. Like I say, he's really made a very generous living off his YouTube channel. He has absolutely nothing negative to say about Disney. He's the fakest person within the entire fandom, and like I say, last year he was particularly embarrassing because he started getting a little bit sensitive about some feedback. And he ran a block list on his Twitter account and ended up blocking half of his own YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, so, I am also blocked by this guy, and I've never even interacted with him. Never even interacted with him.
You know you're doing something right if
get
you
it out of the way early.
Yes, preemptive blocking. But I'm sure some of the other chaps have come across this Alex Demon. Demon, you must have interacted with him at some point.
I think he blocked me before I'd even had a chance. He did one of those like blanket block things that really cool thing to do. But I remember coming across him and his missus channel, like not long after The Last Jedi, because I was looking for reviews on YouTube, and they must have been one of them. And I found all these like idiots that were loving it and just gushing about it, and I was just sitting there shaking my head and couldn't understand what the hell they were talking about. And him and his missus must have been two of them at the time. I tried to blank them from my memory.
That's her in the background.
Yeah, that is like with the chain around his neck. Yeah, and I've seen some of their videos, and they are just they're embarrassing to levels beyond human cringe ability.
Knob.
I mean, just look at the state of this. You don't walk around a convention dressed like that, whether you're taking the piss or not. Yeah, really.
Cockney minds, but
bedroom's a different thing altogether.
Yes,
I think she must peg him with a Jabba the Hutt shaped strap on.
What a knob!
Yeah, literally a walking penis, and not in the masculine sense,
and not in a good way either.
No,
that's our reigning champion you're talking about. Let's some respect.
He's not the trophy holder for nothing, is he?
Yeah, Brian, any dealings with this person? Any thoughts?
I was blocked before I had the chance to, but I have listened to his show on occasion and heard some of the input that himself and his good lady have. I'd have to say, and I don't like to be critical of kind of fellow YouTubers, but he kind of has about as much personality as he has hairs in his chest.
Zero.
I also was irked by the statement his wife made that if you hate The Last Jedi, then you're just intimidated by strong women.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it's a shit film.
Quite grateful of the block, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pika in the chat says, the next time someone tries to knock Ruin's genius, remember Disney didn't need to release a novel to make sense of The Last Jedi like they are with The Rise of Skywalker.
Because it was fucking impossible.
Ruin, have you sorted your differences with JJ yet?
Yes, we're on good terms now, JJ. All is well. We're working on the next trilogy. I'm going to do the first one. JJ's going to do the second one. Christ knows who's going to do the last one. But yes, we'll just make it up as we go along. I'm sure it'll work out fine.
So is this guy, what's his name again? Alex?
Well,
is he a shoo-in again, or have we got some really strong contenders?
I think we're going to have a new champion this year. Just my gut feeling. Obviously, it'll all be decided via Twitter polls, so watch out for it on Twitter. But yes, let's roll it on, Brownie. Let's see what other fabulous
I would just say before we move on, Cockney, does he wear the outfit well?
Yeah, the famous Princess Leia unpaid intern outfit. I've seen better. Not you, Jessica, but yeah, no, that's going to be haunting my nightmares forever, like the visual image of Brie Larson's toes going into Brown's mouth.
Brie posted a picture today of her and her other half enjoying life. Moving on. So, okay, shall we move on then? So, technology allowing, I do need a new computer, by the way. This is desperate times. Come on, boys and girls. Come on, computer.
Crowdfund to get a new Chromebook.
Come on.
Not the porn.
Here we go. Like the best things are worth waiting for. So, Brian, do you know anything about this guy?
May I just object to the spelling? How dare you get the spelling wrong of this living legend of a man?
I was up against a deadline. Sorry, buddy.
I mean, it's nice he included the name Ryan in it, but it is BRY for this fine chap. Anthony will tell you all about him, I think.
Sorry, boys and girls. Stream killer.
Well,
Indeed.
I mean, yeah, obviously,
stream killer.
He spawned our very own, not Brian Young. He attempted to dox me in my early days, which actually just actually caused my Twitter and my YouTube to blow up overnight. So thanks, Brian. He actually, I don't want to dredge it all up again, but he actually attempted to contact some of my former employers. Yes, he really took exception to some of the jokes I was making, and yes, and for that, and for being just an almighty shill, I'm talking new levels of brown nosery, constantly lurking in the mentions of Ryan Johnson on Twitter, and that secured him his back-to-back titles. So he really is a piece of work. He has a podcast. He has a failed writing career. He has a very bizarrely dyed goatee beard. And he was also incidentally, if you're interested, a very, very dark past involving talking sex in a chat room with some teenage Star Wars fans. But I'll leave that one to Ethan.
It's a family show, by the way.
Yes, I know. I'm leaving that to our old friend Ethan, Uncle Ethan. He does a fine documentary on that matter. I won't get into it anymore.
Brian, how do you feel about those accusations of chat rooms? Is it true or just accusations?
Absolutely no. Moving on.
Swappers, any dealings with this person?
Again, I think I was blocked before he had a chance to.
It truly is an honour.
Well, yeah, I wasn't complaining. Don't get me wrong. God, look at the state of this picture here. Was it? Did someone draw that facial hair on with
charcoal? Very pixelated.
Or did he fish out his mum's pubes from the plug hole in the bath and stick
probably a felt pen or something.
Good God!
Have you known that's one of the finest photographs I've ever
had? Well, he looks proud of himself, so. At least he's winning in that respect, hey? Yeah.
He looks like he's in witness protection. I don't know what else going on with the glasses, the fake beard. I don't know.
Is this the most recent of his mugshots? Is that?
No idea. It's the first I came across.
Brian has actually lost several pounds in weight since that photograph. Believe it or not, I kid you not.
Oh.
It looks rather trim and svelte looking.
Wow.
He probably might update that shortly. You never know.
He's training for our MMA match. We've agreed to do it later this year. I've said I'll wear the mask.
Oh God, I'd pay good money to see that. I really would.
Did it Ruin? Did it get very personal then?
It did. It really did. I mean, not from my part. I only ever I make obviously a lot of jokes, a lot of fun out of what these idiots say. But that's it, that's it for me. If they're going to say stupid shit, I'm going to quote them on it and take the piss out of it. But yeah, he seemed to get really. I mean, I don't think he could handle the amount of fun we were having at his expense, and he took it very personally and decided to try and cancel me, try and dox me, try and get me fired, try and cancel me, but you can never put down a good man.
There isn't any kind of bat and ball going on. There's no laughs here or slightly some good patter coming back. It's just all kind of horrible, and which is a bit of a shame, to be quite honest. But anyway, that's how it started off.
You got a whole persona out of it, Brian. There's always a positive, isn't it?
I've been trying to ditch it since 2019. It was funny for about a fortnight in 2019, but that's
not Brian is trying to get rid of his name, and we've told him no.
It's you.
No. You are not Brian Young.
Brian, you're the only parody account for a person nobody actually fucking knows.
Yeah.
You're more famous than the guy you're actually a parody of.
Yeah, like a Les Smith and Jones, exactly that.
Yeah.
The saddest thing is when he tweets stuff about Star Wars, he gets a few likes here and there, but see when he tweets about his own books and his own stuff, and I feel bad for saying it, to the point where I've actually had another account and stuck a couple of likes in it.
Yeah. Oh dear. In the chat, I think Ruin's been hacked again. I'll save Star Wars at Sklavko. And then 333. Hi, everybody. Hello, 333.
That was in response to Slavko saying, "Help us, Ruin. You are our only hope." So obviously, just reassuring him, the trilogy's coming, Slavko. Don't worry.
Cockney, any dealings with this guy, or shall we move on?
Well, so that was him sliding into my DMs about the Leia slave uniform. I've seen horses groomed more efficiently than that. Moving on.
Yeah. Moving on then. So next. Ooh. It's Frankie Boyle.
Frankie Boyle in transition.
Personal favourite of mine. Chucky Wendig. Now, anyone who's had any dealings within the Star Wars fandom will surely know Chucky Wendig. He was so vile and vitriolic and nasty in his angry tweeting that he was fired by Marvel. He had a rather cushy job writing Star Wars comics for Marvel. He also wrote pretty much the worst ever Star Wars books released, the Aftermath series, famous for his line, the TIE fighter flew herkily-jerkily through the sky and wibbly-wobbly.
Matthew, are you listening?
Yes,
I'm taking notes, mate. Always.
Are you taking notes?
Yeah. Love it.
Chucky, very, very angry man. And I actually got into a back and forth with Chucky because I released a parody song. It's still on my YouTube if anyone's interested. And he really took exception to it. He got rather angry, very shouty and sweary. And but yes, look, Chucky, huge source of entertainment, still going. Again, blocked half of Twitter, but yes.
It really does look like Frankie Boyle's twin brother.
Frankie Boyle meets Henry VIII. Yes.
Yeah. 333 in the chat says Chuck Wendig likes soy.
It's not even open for dispute, that one. He's powered by soy. Chuck Wendig.
Exudes soil.
Is he powered by unsweetened or sweetened soy? Not that I know.
Well, he's very bitter.
Extra sweetened, yes. Sweetened by his own special sauce.
Ew.
Swap has any dealing? Obviously, you're taking notes with his jerkily and all that bollocks. Is there anything you can learn from this bloke, do you think?
Rhyming.
Alliteration.
I actually wrote to this guy. I wrote to this guy when he. I read the original Aftermath trilogy. Once I read it, I listened to it on audio. Luckily, I didn't buy it, if you know what I mean. And I was listening to it while I was at work and heard the whole thing. And when you're sort of doing it while you're working or doing some other task, you're not fully paying attention. So I think I must have missed a lot of the shite that was in it.
The what? Sorry, you missed the what?
Sorry, no, I don't know what I said. The bit of Tourette's came out. I don't know why. But
shite was it?
Got through the whole trilogy, and afterwards, I thought to myself, that was all right as far as expanded universe books go. And then I saw The Last Jedi, and I thought that was even worse. what the fuck is going on with Marvel
Oh.
and not Marvel, sorry, with Disney and Lucasfilm, when this twat here can write a better story than the person behind the movie.
This
right?
twat.
And before, and I actually wrote, and there was all this massive fallout of massive fan fallout after the release of episode 8. And I wrote to this guy and said, you know what, you should have been the writer of that movie. You would have done a far better job. And I don't know if he took offence or what, but he blocked me soon afterwards. So.
Dear twat.
Fucking hell, there's no pleasing some people, is there?
No. So that was the extent of my interaction with him.
Yeah. Oh dear. Citizen 333 in the chat. Can't believe this schmuck actually from the top. Can't believe this schmuck actually considers himself to be a Star Wars novelist. Now, are we talking about Matt or
Wendy? Talk about swap shop like that, Citizen.
Yeah, I take offence. Thanks.
Darling, he called us a schmuck. How dare!
That sounds like a great
Brian
character.
Yeah. Brian, have I asked you? I can't remember. Fucking Brian's gone.
Don't worry, Neil.
My age.
I can't remember if you asked me.
Have you got anything, Sonny?
I haven't really had many dealings with him. I think
maybe a
couple of. I couldn't give a monkey's fuck, to be quite honest. Okay. I've had a couple. I think maybe a couple of tweets here and there before I get blocked. I think it might have been the second one, but he has a small harem of aging desperados that try to come to his
Chucky, rescue. I'm aging. Can I be in your harem, please?
Best of
Brian. Brian, do you want to read this comment I put up from Citizen 333? If you can do the voice as well.
333 in the chat says, in a critical drinker voice, "Fuck off, Chuck."
Go away now.
Very good, Mr. Brown. Before we move on from Chucky, and I could spend all night talking about Chucky. I have to read you his tweet, which finally got him the chop from Marvel. If you would humour me for 20 seconds.
Listen, mate. Listen. Every stream we do, we humour you, so it's not a big shake. So away you go.
Okay, here we go. This is it, folks. So I found the tweet which got Chuck fired from his plum job at Marvel. Here we go. Winter is coming, you callous fucknecks. You prolapsed arseholes. You grotesque monsters. You racists and rapists and wretched abusers. You vengeful petty horrors. There you go, Star Wars fans. That's what Chucky thinks of you all. And that's why he's always a favourite on Shill Wars.
Literary genius, that absolute literary genius. I've written all that down. I'm going to use it as the dialogue for my my villain for my story.
Doesn't pull any punches.
No, you haven't asked me, Brown. It's fine. Move on. It's fine.
So, Cockney, before we move on,
yes.
Any thoughts?
Bollocks.
Okay, so we will move on. I think bollocks is spot on. Okay, so
we have a debutant, and when he was announced on Twitter, a lot of people said, "How has he not made Shill Wars before?" Because
who is this guy?
Well, he's the film critic for Forbes, and he's regularly seen making the worst takes you'll ever read about movies on Twitter. Also, he looks like the definition of a creep. But yeah, Scott Mendelson, Forbes critic, most famous for describing The Last Jedi as the Dark Knight of the Star Wars saga. And he wasn't referring just to the sequels, he was referring to the entire 9 movies, including the George Lucas. So for that alone, he is a big contender this year.
For biggest twat ever, more like.
Twat.
Twat for our American friends, or Robert Meyer Burnett. Twat.
He's even gate-kept the word twat.
So is he really that bad, Ruin?
He's horrendous. Just look him up. He really is a joy. And he's one of these arseholes who you know is just coming up with bullshit just to get him the most retweets, clicks, and the rest of it. But he's a shill in the original sense. He literally makes money from his bullshit takes. Yes, horrible, nasty piece of work, and I think he's got a good chance this year.
Captain, any dealings with this guy, or do you know him?
A couple of cocktail parties, but nothing really. Nothing I can report on a family show.
Indeed.
But he was looking down my top the whole time.
I can imagine he does look a bit of a yeah. Brian?
No direct, but I've seen him plenty of times, and I've read plenty of his reviews to realise that he is a complete anus of a man. I noticed he was quite scathing about the recent Ghostbusters film. Had some pretty abusive and nasty comments about middle-aged men. I can only assume that his TLJ comment in calling it the Dark Knight of the Star Wars saga is possibly rhyming slang.
Very good.
Think about it.
That's I'll just say for the people in the chat, that is a thinking person's gag.
Very good.
Dark Knight, Canto Bike.
You can rewatch the re-rub and just spare a moment and it will just go ka-ching and you will understand that joke. So, Swap Shop?
This guy he's basically just the antithesis of anything good, isn't he? The antithesis of solid criticism and solid movie praise. Everything he says that's good is shite, and vice versa. I think every time he tries to post anything online, or he's involved in anything that's been posted online, he's just flooded with a torrent of hate against him and his opinion. And to his credit, he seems to take it quite well by not responding and just releasing another piece of shite a couple of days later, normally. But come on, how can you not love a man with those "you're coming home with me" eyes?
You're coming home with me, and you don't have a choice.
Yeah, as soon as that roofie kicks in,
I will. Citizen 333 has identified himself as being a fan of Mendelssohn. Cockney, do you want to read this?
I think it says, I won't do the accent. Fuck off, Mendelssohn. Nice.
Citizen, you're on fire. I'm loving it. I have to just read you one of his his hottest takes, if you don't mind. I mean, if you thought The Last Jedi wasn't bad enough, this is a genuine, non-sarcastic tweet from Scott Mendelsohn. The finale of Twilight Breaking Dawn is the best battle scene in cinematic history. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Mendelsohn, please give him your support in Shill Wars.
Wow.
That's terrible.
I do believe that is the first 4 that have already been revealed. Is that correct, Ruin?
It's correct. And so what this means is the people who are here right now, all the guests, and the people in the chat, this is an exclusive.
Exclusive.
You're getting this before anyone in the world.
This is why we do this, because we are such a small channel. The 8 people who are watching this and the panel are in at the very beginning of this channel, and it genuinely is a nice little community. So
beautiful.
So as I said, we've just discussed the first 4, so now we're getting into uncharted territory, and we are revealing the next batch of 4 arseholes. Is that correct?
Perfect. Perfectly done.
Or shills. So, okay. So
shills.
Prolapsed arseholes, as Chucky would say.
I will say prolapses
that is
of the bottom are not a
right
laughing matter, but there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Who would like? Yeah, Brian. Do you want to go first? We'll get to Ruin last.
Yes.
Obviously, everybody knows who these guys are. So, Brian, Pablo.
Where can we start with Pablo Hidalgo?
Beginning.
Possibly not at all. Pablo is part of the Lucasfilm story group, and he's apparently an expert on all things Star Wars. Not so much that his contribution could lead to a coherent story being written in at least the 8th part of the saga, but he's always there or thereabouts with a bit of controversy. He's been known to have a bad reaction, I would say, to any kind of fan dissent, and to the point where he's now had to almost nuke his account and make the other one. He's got another secondary account and he's made that private so he can have his own thoughts on how terrible the fandom is for not going along with
that account. Is called Hidalgo. What's his name? Pablo Hidalgo Pablo. He's changed his name around for that other account. But moving on.
Not quite.
That was me doing my best to kill the stream. I do apologise. Moving on.
Welcome
Stream
to
killer
Ironic on 56, getting derailed with commentary by another host.
I fucked myself up then, boys and girls. Brian, moving on.
Back to where right places, everyone.
In some ways, it's a bit of a shame that he put his account on private because it gave us a real chance to see what people inside Lucasfilm really thought of the fans, which was very, very revealing. Moving on.
Citizen 333.
He's on fire.
He is. He should be on this stream.
Get him on.
Pablo, I have to be careful because my teeth are not working. Pablo Soidalgo did not work at Lucasfilm before George sold Star Wars.
Did work.
Indeed. And then Citizen 333. Matt, do you want to read this one?
Yes. Fuck off, Soidalgo.
Nice.
And then 333 again in the chat. I really don't want to watch the rewatch TLJ before your 30th October stream, but I guess I will probably will, just so we can talk about shit about it. That is taking one for the team, boys and girls.
Yes, I mean
that's commitment, isn't it, Ruin?
Yes, and I hope he's not going to download it illegally. You know, you can buy it on Apple, on Disney Plus. So, and I'd recommend, in fact, and don't just watch it once, rewatch it several times so you can fully understand the complexities and the undercurrents and the deeper themes. So, thank you, Citizen. I hope you have hours of fun with my perfect movie.
Again, my brain's not working. Swappers, did I ask you?
Not yet. No. I'm just going to say that he is the human thumb, isn't he? This guy, as other YouTubers have said, has described him. Yeah. Completely worthless individual. He's supposed to have some kind of job at Lucasfilm, but I don't see any positive results coming of his position there whatsoever. He's supposed to be like continuity guy or something. I don't know. But he's
continence guy.
Bollocks up
continuity, more like
appropriate. Yeah.
Courtney, any dealings with this guy?
Not personally, thanks to my agent and legal team. He can get nowhere near me in any way, shape, or form. But no, an ego so massive that basically inverse to his contribution to the Star Wars canon. Is there now not a figure, a doll, and someone in the encyclopedia called, I don't know, Pablo Fuckwit Soigo or something that was a Jedi master, some nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous. Even Lucas had the good sense to wait 5 movies and 20 years before inserting himself thumb up your ass like into a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously, I'm not a Star Wars fan like you guys, but is he the knobhead who embarrassed himself by slagging
you're gonna have to narrow it down a little bit. I mean,
was he slagging the fans off?
Star Wars theory. He made full of Star Wars theory for being emotional about seeing Luke Skywalker back.
That backfired, didn't it?
Yes.
And what was that all about? Ruin, do you want to explain all
Yes, I'll explain. So as we can
Oh, wow.
all hopefully recall, it was the Luke Skywalker appearance in The Mandalorian. Very emotional moment because a lot of fans thought, well, this is the Luke we all know and love and wanted. And Star Wars Theory, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Star Wars YouTubers. He did a reaction video where he actually shed a tear. It was a very sort of genuine moment, and a lot of people
fucking
connected with it.
baby. No, I mean, good lad.
And obviously Pablo has to insert his thumb-like head into it, and he replied to him on Twitter, "Emotions are not for sharing," just really shutting him down. And actually, Pablo received a lot of backlash, had to nuke his Twitter account, as he's done several times. So there we go. So Pablo, always a strong contender. He literally is a shill. He makes money out of his bullshit for Lucasfilm. So yes, there we go.
Has he got a chance this year, do you think?
He's always a contender. You never know with Pablo. I mean, the problem with him, he's now existing in his own little echo chamber. But we have our sock puppets accounts monitoring his tweets, and we'll expose the worst of Pablo, just so everyone's fully aware of the shenanigans he's up to. But I'd give him a shot at a semi-final appearance, definitely.
Wow. Possibly going out on penalties.
Maybe, yes. Typical South American, yes.
Ruin, do you want to read the comment from the man of the stream, Citizen 333?
Yes, so Citizen 333 says, "I love The Last Jedi. It's the best Star Wars movie ever made. Can you please hurry up with the trilogy?" Oh no, sorry, wrong comment. He says, "How much?" That was a DM he's just sent me. He says, "How much you want to bet Ryan Johnson, Wendig, Mendelsohn, and Soy Dalgo all hang out?" Well, you can bet on it, Citizen. We all get together and share a soy milk and regale ourselves on the disaster that is Star Wars. So there we go.
And then 333 follows up again with, "He's a two-faced, just like coffee for Mr. Spielberg." Mr. Brown, may I submit, whenever Ruin is on your stream, it be titled the Princess. In the presence, Princess as well. You are the princess
of greatness.
You are the princess of greatness, Ruin.
The princess of greatness. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. And yes, it's also Kathy's nickname in the bedroom.
I'm assuming he's Picat's again got his free tickets to the Star Wars experience.
Picat, your tickets for Ruin's Boudoir in the new Disney theme park are on the way. Bring a nightgown and a large
some wet wipes.
Nivea, a large bottle of Nivea. Anyway,
and wet wipes. On. Okay, so shall we move on then?
Do it.
Better.
Do it.
I'm sick of looking at his goddamn face.
So, Ruin, who is this?
Oh, good God.
God.
This is one of the most...
Shall we move on then?
Yeah, just move straight on. It's one of the most cringe-worthy creatures in the whole of the Star Wars fandom. His name's Steele Saunders. Brian Young, who does a fantastic impression, which I want to hear in a moment. But you may know him. He has a reasonably well-known podcast called Steel Wars. And he is, I mean, you can't see it, but in that picture, he's actually wearing a shirt which says Shill, Disney Shill. He's most famous, you might know him, he's most famous for the most cringe-worthy interview he did with Daisy Ridley.
Oh, that one.
Yes, that one.
God.
There we go.
Oh,
He asked Daisy Ridley, he said, "Daisy, what do you think about Reylo?" And he really was hoping Daisy would say, "Oh, yes, I think it's great." And Daisy basically said, "Well, no, it's, it looks like a bit of an abusive relationship to me." And he was rather embarrassed live on air. So we all enjoyed that one. But yes, there we go. That's Steele. But Brian, can you give us an audio clip of Steele?
Hey guys, Steel Saunders here. How are you? Ryan, mate, Last Jedi. What a fucking masterpiece, mate. Masterpiece.
Christ almighty.
Steele, do you want to read PCAT's comment?
PK in the chat says, Steel looks like he should be in the cantina, but what the fuck are you saying, PK, you fucking fella?
And then do you want to read the next? Oh, he's obviously Scottish. Do you want to read the next comment from the good Tom King?
The good Tom King in the chat says he defends literally everything about Disney Star Wars, and why not when you're getting the fucking perks I am, mate?
Swappers, any dealings with this guy?
Oh Christ! If I did, I can't remember. He's got such a forgetful face. But he's
Have you seen the interview?
I've seen that. God, it was from someone else's report. I think it was. I don't think it was anything to do with him. There's someone taking a piss out of him at the time, and he hadn't blocked me. Still hasn't blocked me now.
Wow.
And I've left so many responses to his terribly shit takes that he leaves online, correcting him in every single way. Just logically correcting him. And he just never responds. I think he just knows he's so in the wrong, but he's so unwilling to backtrack. He just doubles down every single time, and he just keeps getting worse with every post he makes. So I'm just hoping he does something new. Yeah, I just hope he does something new pretty soon, because I want to see him right at the top of the chart. Really. But I forgot that he was an Aussie. I forgot that.
Brian didn't.
Cockney, Melbourne lad.
All right.
If ignorance is bliss, then I'm the happiest campier alive. I don't know who this loser is. Get him off my screen.
So, Brian, you obviously respect the guy.
He blocked me before I even tweeted him a long time ago. What he doesn't know is he actually follows one of my Stooge accounts. So I do like to get the occasional like and reply from him every now and again without him knowing.
Beautiful.
But I don't know. I think Ruin's right. I think he knows he's strayed far from the light, as it were.
Path, yeah.
Some of the things he tweets is just beyond a joke, sickening, to be quite honest. But he's too far. He's far too far gone now.
Perhaps he should just stand up one day and just say, "I apologise."
My son.
He is an actual. Speaking of stand-up, he is actually a stand-up comedian, believe it or not, from his hometown of Melbourne. Yeah, he is.
Obviously not very good then.
It's a bit shit, eh?
In the chats, MC.
Ahoy, MC.
Evening.
Ruin, so odds, is he... what do you think this year?
Well, he's worthy of a place in the bracket tournaments, but in all honesty, he's yes, I don't fancy him to go far. He's
you don't fancy him?
No, I don't fancy him. It's he doesn't age very well.
Okay. I don't think he uses Nivea, does he? By the looks of it.
No. Looking at the cragginess of that face, no.
Yeah.
By the way, today's stream sponsored by Nivea.
It is
the best a man can get.
Yeah. There you go.
Depending on where you put it, the best a wank can get as well.
That'd be a waste of good cream.
Oh,
there we go, folks. Nivea.
Not recommended for internal use.
Product placement.
Shall we pop on to the next one?
Please.
Oh no! Oh dear!
Oh my!
Cockney, you can go first with this one, because even I know you. Even
you know that even
somebody knows.
It is crime. Who
knows what the fuck's going on?
All right,
somebody knows from the top.
Hey. All right, so even I know who this blubbering fool is.
Who is it?
Well, it's none other than Mr. Smith, a.k.a. Kevin, a.k.a. he who brought us Clerks and got us wondering about the relative moral values of blowing up different Death Stars. That's right. And indeed, does it matter if your girlfriend gave 27 different blowjobs to 27 different people? important cultural commentary like that. But no, we've gone
I
from the
won't take
morals of oral sex and sloppy blowjobs to blubbing. I saw the Millennium Falcon. He-Man. I mean, just
They killed him twice.
Even my basic primitive database, I just, basically has been blubbering full, big T-shirts, next. You know what I mean? That's me. But, well done with Clerks, the first one.
What does me, as somebody who's in the kind of at the basement level with all this, what does me, it's the dainty wearing of the baseball cap that does me. Just fuck it.
At what point does a near 60-year-old man think maybe the backwards cap look is just not really me anymore? But no, he's persisting with it. He's down with the kids. Yes.
Even the hipsters can wear our their trilbies the right way around.
No. Even a white one as well. No, sorry, Kevin. You really do need to address the wearing of the cap. Swappers, do you want to go?
I wonder if he ever takes his cap off and he's got like a non-tanned strap across his forehead.
God.
With little holes across, because it's just permanently welded to his head, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there anything he doesn't cry about, really? Is there any orifice he doesn't leak from? I pity him more than anything. I think those decades of substance abuse have ruined his cognitive ability. And he will just see anything now that elicits any kind of emotion and starting to just become a blubbering mess and become unintelligible and promote anything as long as he gets paid for it and gets a chance to get a bit of cash in his back pocket so we can go and make another Clark's movie.
Has he, do you think he sold his soul then? Or is that next?
Anyone in Hollywood basically has sold their soul, otherwise they can't get through the gates. But this guy's on another level. I think he's trying to get straight to the top of the Freemasons ladder and the top tier of devil worshipping. So he's probably been to Bohemian Grove a few times.
Pizza,
them off. Yeah, and because of that, and he's now got a new Clark's film coming out.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
All he needs to do is occasionally shill for an IP that's going to destroy another white male character, and boom, he gets another movie.
Do you think he likes pineapple on his pizza, Captain?
Oh, he went there. Oh, no comment at this time. Can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. Brian.
Hello.
Are you all right?
So I've got a slight technical problem I'm trying to sort out. What can you say about Kevin Smith, other than he was one of us and he's become the very thing that he rallied against, or railed against rather, back in the day? I loved Jane's Silent Bob and Clerks, but he has disappeared so far up his own arse. It's unbelievable. I saw a tweet from his just a little while ago, asking, says, anyone got some 80s tunes that I haven't heard? If so, can I listen to them on Morning Run? Send me your suggestions. And some genius sent him the He-Man theme tune.
Yes, certainly not watch that.
Speaking of He-Man, Ruin, thoughts?
He-Man, baby. Well, Kevin Smith, look, he is the definition of a shill. This picture was actually taken as a live reaction to The Rise of Skywalker, to which he compared it to Avengers Endgame. So I think that says it all. He was famous for being on the set. He somehow managed to exert his influence, get on the set, and he described the final scene of Rey on Tatooine as just overwhelmingly emotional. Which he must be the only person on the fucking planet who experienced those emotions. Yes, the guy, and obviously he made an arsehole of himself over Star Wars, but since then he's outdone himself with his absolute abomination, The Masters of the Universe. I think Kevin Smith is a real contender this year. I really do.
Wow.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just think it's other than the Star Wars, it's everything around him that's kind of bringing him up to the fore this year, especially with the on 115, especially the kind of joke of the channel is the He-Man and killing He-Man twice. So anyway,
well, I mean, I wish I'd done that to Luke, but yes, he's really
twice so far. We're still counting.
Oh yeah. So so far the front runner, you would say.
He really could go all the way. It's all about timing, and he's really his abomination of Master of the Universe on top of his constant shilling for Star Wars. It could really take him all the way. Yes,
Timing.
You heard it. Yeah, you heard it first, folks. I do believe this is the last one of the next batch of 4. So
I think I've saved
Ruin,
the best
you can
to
go
last.
first.
Yes, well, here we go. It's our old friend Adam Lance Garcia. Now, if you're involved in the Star Wars community, you've undoubtedly come across Adam Lance Garcia. This guy has been shilling to degrees that really science and the natural world is not ready for. His takes have been nothing short of extraordinary, and good on him. He doesn't seem to block anyone. He'll happily take all the abuse coming his way. But yes, Adam, I have to say he was probably in line to possibly win it last year, but we withdrew him from the running because he was it was my friend there, not Brian Young, alerted me to some personal circumstances Adam was dealing with,
so
and I
out
thought
of respect,
it was out of respect we withdrew him. Yes, from the runnings, but he's back this year, and honestly, I think he's a favourite. He's a favourite to win this thing. He's honestly being. I mean, 4 years of non-stop arse licking of Ryan Johnson, Disney, and Star Wars, and yes, he.
Are you saying this guy? Are you saying this guy's got a tongue like a cow?
He's got a tongue like a Thaler siren, and he's ready to extend it right into the lower colon area. So, yes, I do believe Adam's got a great shot this year.
I will say I even fucked the graphic up before I came on air, and because I'm so professional, I had to just, for everybody's viewing pleasure, just alter the graphic so we could see the nerd over the logo.
Perfect.
So, Swappers, any dealings with this guy?
Well, he hasn't blocked me yet. I was just checking on him. I don't know if I've had any interactions with him. I don't recognise his face. I know the name, so I've heard him referred to plenty of times, but I don't know him actually in person. But I'm just going to jump in and hazard a guess that he's a bellend.
You got it in one.
Yeah, you can't really disagree with that, can you? So, Captain?
Hello. That same, yeah. Swappers.
He looks a bellend with that kind of quirky kind of look. Ooh, I'm a nerd.
He looks like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, but, never judge a book by a cover. He could be a multiple murderer for all I know. But, no, fine guy. I mean,
he looks like he's trying to be funny.
Yeah, look at me. Look at me laughing comically at the wackiness that is Star Wars.
I don't know about you, Cockney. When my experience is that when somebody thinks is funny, they're usually not.
Can't stand people like that. They think they're funny just because they raise their voice up and down in different cadences, and they think that's comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of these people that comes with a theme tune. He walks in, whack, whack, and bow, bow, it's me.
With his little plaque saying, nerd.
No, not
Brian?
nerd, mate. He's got that wrong. It's geek, actually. If you've not listened to Professor Blueskin Smart Lady, you fool. You're not a nerd. You're a geek.
Yeah, I was going to alter that to twat.
Back of the class. There you go. He's out just for that. Back of the class, Garcia. Go program a calculator.
Yeah. I promise next time he's on the stream, I'll alter that to twat. Brian?
There you go. Make sure you pronounce it twat. Otherwise, you'll have to
Twat.
nitpick, won't you?
On 120. Brian?
Well, in between sharing pictures of his cat on Twitter,
Oh, he's not all
Adam.
bad then.
Adam can be found
I like this
lingering in
bloke.
Ryan Johnson's tweet replies.
Oh,
The guy
God.
is so far up Ryan Johnson's arse, you can see Brian Young's heels. It is absolutely fucking sickening. And if you happen to pull him up for it, it gets very, very upset, I've found, over the years.
Oh, that's glorious.
I thought this guy was actually, at the start, I mean, he's clearly knows what he's doing. He's trying to get himself up the ladder.
Mhm.
But I thought this guy was up for a bit of banter back and forwards at the very start. But then it was some certain point it all changed and it all became a bit kind of horrible and nasty. But one to avoid, if you ask me.
Ruin?
Well, you know, I'm scrolling through his Twitter because I'm just trying to find his latest abysmal hot take, and he posted something not even 24 hours ago, applauding the final head-to-head between Rey and Palpatine from the Rise of Skywalker. So he really is an awful shill. But yes, he's the biggest arse, because I think he's the type of idiot who he bombarded Ryan Johnson so much. I think Ryan maybe have replied at one point, and the guy virtually exploded in an orgasm.
Nerdgasm confirmed.
Nerdgasm, that's it. And yes, I mean, if you don't know this guy, seriously, check him out. It's absolutely hilarious. I was convinced for the first 3 years he was a parody account, but apparently he's a real person. But yes, I think he's got a shot this year. I really think so.
So, okay, so
just what he's saying about Doctor Who is bad enough.
he's been saying stuff about Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, he's basically praising Jodie Whittaker's new.
I knew it.
Fuck
Inevitable.
There we go.
There
we
we
go.
Fucking wet. Good riddance. What was Nerdrotic's comment? Close the door on your way out.
Yeah.
About
Can I just
Doctor
read
Who.
something? Can I just read a tweet of his quickly, just very
Oh,
quickly?
please.
He says, I shouldn't have to read or watch anything extra to understand the movie's plot. Also, if you were a real fan and read the technical journal, you would know that the cockpit of a T-16 is the same as an X-Wing cockpit, in inverted commas.
What a fucking tosser.
Shall we just, let's just have a moment's silence, just taking that in.
I really wouldn't ever want to take him in.
Oh, and by the way, are we surprised that he was virtually orgasmic over the idea of Superman coming out as bisexual earlier this week?
No, it's his son, isn't it?
He couldn't be more overjoyed. So, yes, this is, his levels of fucking soy span beyond Star Wars into Doctor Who, Superman, you name it. He's you think of the bad take, he can make a worse one. That's Adam.
He's like a shill gumball machine, isn't he? Like the industry just slots 10p in, and a little sort of shill nugget pops out the bottom that they can use all over social media. Jesus,
right, all over it.
Okay, so that is the first 8 revealed for your viewing pleasure. So when are we going to have the next 4, Ruin?
Oh, well, we've got there's 16 in total, so you've had the first 8 now. So there's 8 more to come, and then it all kicks off 1st of November. The head-to-head starts. The Shills will battle it out. So I'll be revealing them over the next coming weeks. Maybe I'll hold back some for another stream with you chaps. Happy to do so.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you possibly, in the next 4, I think we could make a quick stream out of it, don't you?
We could do that, absolutely. Yes, I've got some. Believe it or not, we've had some bloody awful shills, but I've got some potentially even worse ones to come. So, yes.
So when do you think, is it going to be next week, the next 4?
Yes, we'll do 4 next week. Why not? Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. So 8 down, 8 to go, and
8 to go.
hopefully we can arrange something for next week to reveal the next one. So, okay. So swappers, did you get my private chats?
Am I ready? Am I ready? Yes.
Is it Brie Larson's
Yes.
toes again?
Because it's
I'll get in on that action, please.
it's treat time.
Yeah, don't skimp on the Brie. Come on now.
I'm just locating a bit to read out. I have actually read this bit out before, previously, but there might be people that are listening that haven't heard it. And it was just one bit that I'm particularly memorable of because it was really emotional to write. And whenever I read it, I'm almost like filling up.
Kevin Smith.
Because
shall I before you start, shall I just kind of for the folks at home, every time we do one of these Star Wars streams, Swappers reads some of his novel that he's doing.
He writes it, then you read
it. Yeah, he does that as well. The backstory is Matt was so disappointed, gutted, with
fucked off.
Fucked off. I was trying to keep it polite. With
knobbed off.
What happened with The Last Jedi? He in a nutshell, he's basically tried to correct the abortion, the film, the crap. Oh, it really is
masterpiece of the word you're looking for.
Yeah. So he's basically trying to undo what happened in that film. So he's writing a treatment from the end of it's The Force Awakens, isn't it, Matthew?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight after the little cliffhanger that they gave us.
Yeah, and he's doing his best to make it longer than War and Peace. So he's not doing too bad at the moment. So as I said, normally he comes on here and just gives us all a little treat for 5 or 10 minutes of some of the stuff he's been reading or writing. I can't get my words out tonight. So Matthew, ready when you are, my friend.
Okie dokie. So the scene is on the island of the island of the first Jedi Temple on the planet of Acto, which we all know from The Last Jedi, that terrible film. And hopefully I'm going to redeem the use of Skellig Michael, whatever that island's name was, and also the setting in the story as well, because it was just in the film, it was just another generic place. So hopefully I'm going to make it a little bit more reverent, a little bit more memorable. So anyway, Luke is on his own and he's communing with the Force on the island. So I'll just start here. In the brief moments of his meditation, Luke had traveled through the Force to connect with his twin sister, Leia, someone he hadn't seen for years due to his self-imposed isolation on Acto. Both of them were naturally strong in the Force, but chose to use it in different ways. However, when they were together before the days of her son's birth and the arrival of the First Order, Luke had taught Leia how to use how the Jedi had learned to become one with the Force, how to use premonition and meditation, and to determine which of their heightened instincts were the ones to trust. Of all the useful Force techniques he had introduced her, one would forever maintain their link, no matter the distance. And it would seem this distance would transcend the very boundaries of physical life. Back then, Luke had no idea her abilities would allow her to accomplish such a task as this. Now apparently free of her terrestrial bindings, as the sun rose across the horizon, Luke felt a veil slowly lifting from his consciousness. And she was the one raising it. The light felt as if it was burning away an intangible shade across it from his awareness. A perception-suffocating tunnel vision had formed around him for years, and after all this time it had become something he could no longer detect. Even the ashlar, or the island zones concentrated in the light side of the Force, were unable to penetrate its matted bindings. Now, thanks to his beloved sister, He had been given back the gift of an unfiltered, unbounded connection to the living and cosmic force. What might be considered by the uninitiated as a simple sea breeze, to Luke, it was as though the very air brushing over him was peeling back the thick, tarnished layer of a cocoon. The sun cast an ever-intensifying golden glow across the island, and as it did, Luke felt its energy wash him clean of the dark fog. Craving answers, he stepped into the trunk of the ancient Uneti ashlar tree, and for what felt like perhaps the final time, he approached the bookshelf against the far wall. Placing both hands against it, he allowed it to take his body weight, hoping the tree itself would help shoulder some of his burden and provide the guidance he would need in the near future. As if in prayer, his eyes in concentration closed tightly. I'm just reading this next bit out to myself before I read it, just to make sure it's all right. Excuse me. We weren't going to let you leave without saying goodbye, Luke. The voice came from the air around him as if from a distant memory. Promptly he turned, and in front of him, shimmering with energy, as transparent as a hologram, stood Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Old Ben, as Luke had always known him. But this was no mere projection. Ben's essence itself was manifesting through the Force, and it was the first time Luke had communed with him in decades. Luke's eyes were filled with emotion, as if seeing an old loved one for the first time since a child. Leave? Just where is it you think I'm going? Luke asked. Obi-Wan smiled knowingly. The planet Kolidor, he said. Kolidor? Luke shook his head, searching his memory for the name. Now she has found you. You will be called away from here. You and the girl, Obi-Wan said. Now that your sight in the Force has returned, the time has come for you to continue along your path, Luke. The path which started when you first found me. What's so special about Kolidor? Why would I leave here with her? You assume I already know her past, why she's here? She is curious, and she will have many questions about herself and the past, said Ben. And Kolidor is where you both must go. All the answers you seek lie there. And I don't suppose there's anywhere you can tell me yourself, Luke asked, already anticipating the answer. Ben smiled once more. Some knowledge can only be gained through self-discovery. Something you already know, Luke. You have become very wise and an experienced man, more so than myself at your age. Your knowledge of the Jedi and the Force now far exceeds many of the archivists of the old Jedi Order. Luke appeared resolute. I refuse to pass on that knowledge. After what I learned of their history, I couldn't allow the galaxy to repeat the mistakes of the past. I came to see the ways of the Jedi were not the ways of the future. She is not a Jedi, Luke, nor will she be. That is not her destiny, and it is not your responsibility to train her, but guiding her is, just as you yourself have been guided, Ben added. Her destiny will be decided by the Force itself, but she requires the guiding hand of knowledge and wisdom which only you can provide. For a moment, Luke paused, overcome with a sudden sense of sorrow. Leia, she came to me before. She helped me. Help me see again, he said softly, his sadness even heavier than when learning of Han's tragic death. I need to know what happened. She's one with the Force now, isn't she? Ben silently nodded in response. I felt it. Tell me, how did she pass? Luke struggled to fight back his tears. It was because of those whom you know as the First Order, I'm afraid. It was her final valiant act. She passed saving many innocent lives. Ben spoke, sincere sympathy in his voice. Luke closed his eyes, displacing his accumulated tears. They rolled down his cheeks too profusely to wipe away, and he opened them once more, blinking away the salt water. I wish I could have been there for her. I wish I had felt the danger, stopped the First Order, but I felt nothing. Until now, my link to the Force. He struggled to find the words to explain. She is aware, Luke. Through the Force, she sees all. Obi-Wan smiled empathically. Luke's eyes dropped to the ground. Look, I can't mentor anyone in the Force. You know that. After what happened was no failure of yours, my boy. Even if we could not foresee the tragedy, Even if you could not foresee the tragedy, then how could you be expected to foresee anything? Ben Solo's loss to the dark side was beyond your control and your foresight. Your influence to the one who turned him was the same one who cast the veil over your connection to the Force. Ben assured him, nodding as he moved closer. It was an affliction struck upon you, Luke. I think you know by whom. Snoke. Luke's eyes darted to Ben in a clear expression of disdain. He has to pay for everything he's done. He has to be stopped. Standing straight, Luke walked to the other side of the chamber and with his back to the entrance, turned back to face Ben. Now in the dim ambience of the tree, just to Ben's right, another figure manifested into view. Seek retribution, you must not, Yoda's tiny stature leant against his cane, his eyes narrowing as he gazed upon the lamenting Jedi. A direction a Jedi cannot follow, this is. He looked up at Ben, then back to Luke. And a Jedi, you most certainly are, yes? Help the Republic, you must. Master Yoda, Luke smiled through his sadness. He took a step closer to his two former teachers. I can see through the Force again, but physically I feel nothing. My strength is gone, and I don't know if it can return. How can I be of any use to the Republic like this? Tested this theory, you have? Yoda asked him, standing to one side and looking back to the bookshelf. Take them with you, you should, Luke knew what Yoda was suggesting and extended his hand to the texts. He closed his eyes and concentrated. The muscles at the bridge of his nose creased his forehead and he focused. But to no avail. Not even a page fluttered under Luke's influence. Yoda's eyes closed and he bowed his head. He nodded in agreement. Luke couldn't conceal his own disappointment, feeling it add to the heavy sorrow he already carried. The wise old Jedi Master noted his apprentice's accountants. A look I recognize this is. Doubt your own potential, you must not. The symbol of hope to the galaxy you must be, Yoda said, pointing at Luke with his staff. From your beliefs strength comes, not from your body. Luke shook his head in dismissal. Everyone must have heard the poisoned words of Snoke by now. About me, about my failures. The galaxy is a harsh place and will not be accepting of the one who betrayed them so treacherously. His words swamped with dread and pessimism. Not all have embraced their deceptions, Luke, Obi-Wan said. You will find that many among the Jedi still regard your name highly. Leia was always defended you against their slander, and her status carried much weight. Master, this planet, Kolador? Luke asked, trying to pronounce it correctly. I've charted nearly all of the galaxy looking for the remnants of the ancient Jedi, but I've never heard of this place. Is it even on any map? Oh, no. No map. No map is this planet, replied Yoda, agreeing with Obi-Wan. But exist recorded data does, some of which your droid may carry, Thrived for thousands of generations did the Jedi. In that time, gathered much knowledge had they, hoarded in the temple on Coruscant. The secrets held within may tell you what we cannot. At the base of the temple, within the great mountain peak itself. Obi-Wan nodded in concurrence. Kolador's obscurity must remain for it to stay beyond the reach of Snoke, Luke, he warned. That world has great potential, but we cannot say any more at this time. That knowledge will be imparted to you. Apparently satisfied, Luke gave a nod, aware that his arguing or debating with the Force spirits was a futile endeavor. And what of Rey? He asked. Ben stepped forward. Has your memory been clouded to everything, Luke? She came to Arc-2 with the help of the map you left. Once the time was right, you were to be called upon, and the Force has come calling. Luke seemed so confused, his face searching for answers. I think I remember it. It all seemed so long ago, like a life lived by someone else. He held his hand to his forehead, eyes screwed up tightly, searching for any shred of a memory. She knows all about the great Luke Skywalker, nothing of herself. There must be a reason why she's the one who found me, Ben agreed. Indeed, my boy, you will remember, as will she, in time. It is a delicate matter. That knowledge cannot be easily accepted by a mind so young and impressionable, or one so young and eager, Luke added. Grown, she has, Yoda commented. In height and ability, almost all her life alone. No one to guide her or teach her has there been, until itself the universe has steered her path. Ben cautioned Luke. You're always the greatest of us at seeing the good and potential in others, Luke. Now you must see hers. She inhabits the division between the light and the dark. If she is influenced too far toward either, it could mean catastrophe the likes of which the galaxy has never seen. Gazing at the ground, Luke visualized the consequences of Ben's words and glanced across to him. I accept responsibility for her, Ben. I'll try my best to. With widened eyes and expectant tongue, Yoda raised his hand with an outstretched finger, ready to interrupt. I'll do my best to guide her. Luke swiftly corrected his words, almost forgetting himself. Nodding in silent satisfaction, Yoda's face relaxed, and Ben's attention switched from his fellow master to his old apprentice. The island is a strong conduit of the Force. You must be aware, Luke. Your limited connection will fade and vanish the further you travel from the temple. Any help we might offer you will go unheard. Nodding lightly, Luke straightened himself. I understand. If this is to be... Stopping mid-sentence, he turned to the exit behind him as if hearing a cry of distress somewhere. Go, you must, Luke Yoda warned. Her only hope you are. Hurry, Luke, Ben concurred. And that's it. That's that whole section.
Bravo.
Wow.
Well played,
Well
Dino.
done, Matthew. Well done. That's genuinely fantastic. Well done, mate.
Oh, cheers. Thanks very much. I now need a drink.
Yes, it's always our privilege to hear your treatment. So, yeah, thank you, my friend. And as I've said before, it's the only time when the chat goes silent. So, well done, mate. Genuinely good. Are we near completion yet?
God. I would say yes, but then something could happen to completely scupper that. So I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
But it's getting there. It's getting there. It's definitely getting there.
Courtney, what do you reckon? It's good, isn't it?
Out of all the Star Wars books I've ever read, that one is
Brilliant.
the most recent. No,
Well,
it's not just
clearly
the
never read Chuck Wendig then.
No, but the bravery, not just to write the thing, but to read it out as well. I couldn't do
Awesome.
that. So
Yeah.
that is, you know.
PCAT, bravo, 333. I will remember you. Very cool.
Yeah, good work,
MC,
Swappers. Keep it up, eh?
well done, Matt. Excellent stuff. Yeah. Brian,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
good, isn't he?
What? No, Urgly Jerglies in there. Excellent stuff again, Matt.
That'll be for
Different
the
class.
the amendments. Yeah.
I got wankily spankily later on.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Nivea.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And Ruin, what do you think? Surely that's how a treatment should be written.
Well, I don't know personally. Sorry, Matt, but all this, treating characters respectfully and character development and actual, interesting scenes and dialogue. No, I'm not down for any of that. Just give me a nice dried space cow tit and a bit of dribbly milk, and that's where my money's going. So
jar of Nivea, and you're away.
there we go. That's all a man needs.
Dollop of terrible MCU humor, second-handed.
But if you ever want to join one of my writing classes, or even Brian Young, I know he does some writing classes. You're very welcome. Yeah. Chucky Wendig, I can put you in touch with a world-class Star Wars writer if you'd like me to.
There you go, Matthew. So some good has become of this stream. Okay, I think we are going to end there, boys and girls. So I will just say to the chat, as I always say, we are nothing without you guys. So it is truly our privilege that you guys spend your Friday evening or afternoon with us, depending where you are. So yeah, we are nothing without your interaction, guys. So many, many thanks for that. Before I thank the guests, Ruin, are we going to try and schedule something for next week then for the next 4?
Yes, we'll try and find a slot, and yes, I'll drop some more shills on your ass.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll do it.
And we'll be doing a quiz as well, won't we, next time?
Yes, I've got an interactive quiz, not just for the guests, but for everyone in the chat. So you can all take part. You can jump on your smartphones, or you can do it on your computer.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all lined up. I can't wait for that one. And of course, can I, if I may, Mr. Brown,
Of course you can.
I have to plug 30. Yes, it's the
Nivea.
30th of October. Our Halloween spectacular. We are doing a Last Jedi horror show breakdown. Yes.
I'll just say to everybody in the chat, your homework, boys and girls, is tweet Critical Drinker asking him to come on that weekend.
I'm going to get on now.
We need the Critical Drinker on that weekend. So that is genuinely going to be a big one if we can get him. It's going to be a big one anyway. He will be the cherry on the cake. So that's your homework.
Is he going to answer for that nonsense that he's masquerading as an answer to the question, is Deckard a replicant? Or am I not allowed to ask him? I mean, nice
Drinker, we need you on, mate. We need you on. So I will thank the guests. So first, I will thank the captain. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you. It's all about me. Thanks very much. Subscribe.
We know it is.
Goodness knows I could do with the support. And thanks for letting me on. Thank you.
My pleasure, mate. Good to speak to you, mate. Not Brian.
Thanks to the chat. Thanks to yourself again, Mr. Brown, for the invite. Thanks to Demon. Excellent work again. Ruin. Hilarious as ever. And to the captain. Also, after party at Wookiees, if you can send us a link.
Wookie Fever is doing a gig on his channel. So
shout out Wookie Fever.
Yeah, Wookie Fever. Blah, 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 blah. Quickly, Citizen 333. We should get Critical and Doomcock.
Oh, yes.
Fucking hell, that'd be just off the chart if we get them. Doomcock.
And Burnett. Get Burnett too.
No. We haven't got the places. Plus, I think Doomcock owes me one anyway. So,
True. Does.
In fact, to be fair, I think he owes me several, but there you go. Swappers, you truly are special, my friend.
Oh no! I'll thank you back, mate.
Love you, my friend. You are such a special. We love you, man. We love you, man.
Appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Never a bore. Thank you.
And last, but by no means least, the double trilogy king. It's ruined the man, baby.
Yes, it's been an absolute pleasure. Always enjoy hanging out with you boys, and particularly enjoyed talking shills tonight. It's always very entertaining to rip them a new one. So, yes, great fun, marvelous banter. I'm loving the Nivea. What a pleasure listening to Matt's dulcet tones. Cockney, always entertaining. And Brian, I've told you, stay out of my goddamn front garden. It's getting ridiculous now. You need to stop it. I'm going to get a restraining order. But yes, looking forward to the next one, chaps. Bravo. And to all those in the chats, every last one of you is a man, baby. So take that one and shove it where the Nivea won't go.
Okay, so for the boys and girls at home, this show isn't sponsored by Nivea, but we thoroughly recommend their facial products. There you go. So we will just say thanks to everybody in the chat. Ruin, are we going to say probably maybe Tuesday, Wednesday? You up for that? Or is that a bit too early?
No, let's
midweek sometime.
We'll work it out. I'm sure we can line something up. But,
okay.
I'll give you an exclusive brownie. Don't you worry.
Oh, you are wonderful. You are wonderful. So I think that is it. So we will just say goodbye to the chat. And if you're watching this on the re-rub, please like, share, and subscribe. I could really do with getting the sub numbers up because they are just static. So we will bail on 150. So we'll just do the countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. See you on Wookiee. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.